Hello. This is an email from Pauline. Pauline says, any advice for people who are trying to recover from what's never a full-blown eating disorder? I feel like there are probably a lot of people in this situation. When my body started to change in puberty, I started mildly restricting and consistently exercising because I thought I was just putting on weight because I was greedy and addicted to food or whatever. And I built up a guilty, restrictive mindset. After about 4 years of this, I briefly escalated to purging and really over-exercising, which jolted me into trying to recover. Now it's been a year and I'm 21 and I still constantly want to eat more than my body physically asks for. I'm concerned it's a psychological problem rather than a natural need for food, and that I'm actually overloading my body. Is this a situation where just eating everything I want to eat is not the right thing to do or not enough? Should people like me maybe seek some sort of counselling? People like you, Pauline? What's a person like you? You say that was never a full-blown eating disorder. According to whom? According to the DSM? Well, I wouldn't go by that, would I? Sounds like an eating disorder to me. Let's get off the kind of... There's so much judgment in everything, isn't there? We don't need to judge what... we don't need to judge and compare one person's eating disorder to another person's eating disorder. Certainly what happens a lot is often the comparison of like somebody thinking that they don't have a full-blown eating disorder because they didn't get super skinny, and then that comparison in there, I don't need to recover because, I wasn't super skinny, all that shit. An eating disorder is an eating disorder, and the symptoms of an eating disorder, I don't even look at weight loss. I don't even care. I don't consider it. It sometimes happens. It sometimes even doesn't that much. And sometimes a person has had a considerable amount of weight loss, but they're actually still above the magic BMI that would say that they have anorexia. Or I just don't care that much how much or how little or whatever a person's weight has lost. I look at an eating disorder based on their symptoms, not their body size. And I'm talking about psychological stuff. And if you have a restrictive mindset and you're compulsively exercising, sounds like an eating disorder to me. So I don't really know what you mean when you say people like you, Pauline. Do you mean people like us? Should people like us seek counselling, people who have the genetics for a restrictive eating disorder? Well, I never did and I fully recovered, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't. I can't answer that question for you. It sounds to me, though, what the actual question that you're asking is, should you seek help with recovery? If you're asking the question, should I seek help with recovery? The answer's going to be yes. Try it. Try a therapist. It might help. And if it doesn't, try a different therapist and maybe that'll help. Or just, try eating more food. Try eating without restriction. I bet you that will help. But you're going to have to do the rewiring bit as well, otherwise it won't. I'm not really making that much sense today. But, so, don't judge whether like comparing your version of an eating disorder to somebody else's. You said you were purging and restricting and exercising. Sounds like an eating disorder to me. Now, the other part that you've got going on is you're not trusting your mental hunger, are you? And when you say, I think it's purely psychological. Well, nothing's either purely psychological or purely biological, and nothing's just purely biological, not psychological, because our brains are in our bodies, inside our bodies, actually all attached. And our brains are physical as well. So anything that affects the physical body affects the mental body. And your restriction, your purging, and your exercising definitely affected your psychological self. Absolutely. Your brain believed you're in a famine environment for a while. And so you can't separate the two and go, that's just eating for purely physical reasons and that's eating for purely psychological reasons. Because it's just all your body saying, you know what, you didn't eat enough food for a while, so I want a lot of it right now. That's all it is. You don't need to judge it as, actually, if it's purely physical, that's okay, body. You're allowed to eat if it's purely physical. Purely psychological? No. What do you think you're doing? Just moronic body. It's all intermingled. Physical and psychological, and it's all kind of like this, your body's needs. You don't get to judge hunger. That's just your body saying to you, oi, I want some food. And sometimes it'll do it physically, and sometimes it'll do it making you think about food. It's all the same thing. You don't get to judge and ask questions. It doesn't, well, actually you can. It doesn't get you anywhere. If you sit there and question your hunger, if it's mental hunger, you're thinking about food, you sit there questioning it, your body doesn't care that you're questioning it. It's not going to just stop. It's not going to go, oh, you're right. Hunger's not warranted right now. I'll just not be hungry. It's still going to think of the chocolate ice cream. And you can even go to therapy and you can talk about your mental hunger. And maybe it stems from your childhood and all of that stuff. And your body is still going to want the food. It's still going to want the ice cream. And the reason it's going to want the ice cream is because your body's saying, I need the ice cream. So, listen to your body. Don't judge whether you have an eating disorder or not. Just, you have the symptoms of an eating disorder. You're a Road to an Eating Disorder YouTube channel. I suspect you have an eating disorder. So, unrestricted eating, neural rewiring, you got this, you got to do both of it. Stop judging everything, especially your hunger. Your body is not doing it anything other than trying to get healthy. It has no hidden agenda to make you a psychological eater. It just is trying to get what it needs. So give it a break. Give it Kit Kat.